I know I didn't tell anybody I was going live because I'm having trouble with putting that out there. So let me see if I can. And let's see. Whom else can I tell that I'm live? That's not what I wanted. Ooh, do I have good? I've got a cord out here just in case my tablet starts to go wonky. Jeez. Got all these lovely people. I should have done this before I started up, but between oops. Come on. Between my brain. Hello, Deidre. Um, just give me a second, folks. I am so sorry. My thoughts and my trying to get stuff done are not always working properly, I guess you'd say. Especially as of late, because now that I'm taking my medication and things are working better, um, I have a tendency to remember things, but sometimes a little too late, I guess you'd say. Um, okay, I think that's everybody that I usually see. Um, okay. Oh, duh. And then as soon as I do this, you will have my full attention, and come on, James. Oh, bugger. What did I do wrong? Ah, okay. I guess I can't do it the way I wanted to. Sorry, folks. Let me just get you guys on my tablet so I can read you guys' comments. Um, okay, there I am. Or at least there's the app for it. Do 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 do. Um, so give me a second, folks. I am so sorry. I should have done this earlier, but like I said, um, yes, that I did some rearranging here in my office. Um, I'll show you guys that here in a second. Um, but basically, all I did was um, I cleaned up in here. The click clack sofa that was in the middle of the wall, I pushed it up against my far wall for the time being, so I can use that corner for some stuff that I still have to go through. But for the most part, I think a lot of the stuff that I still have in here is either going on my bookshelf in here, or going into the bookshelves that we did not too long ago in the living room. I'm still going through a lot of stuff. Um, no, Jerry doesn't come in here that often. She's welcome to come in here anytime she wants to. I don't like tell her to stay out. It's just, you know, with even though that she's got her mobility back, it's building up the stamina to stand for long periods of time. Um, so, you know, that's one of the reasons why she doesn't come in here a lot. Because a lot of times it's either straight to the bed from the bedroom to a bathroom, or from the bedroom to the dining room or to the living room. Um, and yeah, today and yesterday she's been under the weather. I don't know if it's a stomach issue or if it's something else. We don't know. Um, And don't ask me about her medical appointments because I don't know when her next medical appointment is. I have one tomorrow afternoon um, to see my pain management doctor, and then um, I've got a bunch of different. Actually, my table hasn't been moved yet. I'm probably going to move it later on today once I get this wall situated that I'm looking at, which is the wall facing towards um, outside the house. Um, but I've been doing a lot of projects and work on my own that I want to do. Um, like I said, there's a lot of things that I've been trying to do by myself. Um, Actually, I'm looking at my list right now. Okay, that's done. That's still in the works. That hasn't been done yet. That hasn't been done. There's a lot of little things I haven't done yet that is on my list of things that I wanted to do, get done this weekend. But between my back, some minor stomach problems, and just not that I'm not motivated. It's just which item do I do? And I think today, as soon as I'm done with this video, this live, I am going to hang up some, at least a pair of curtains in my mom's old office so we can start cooling that room down. That one I think is more important than the other two windows in mom's old bedroom because her old office gets the most amount of sunlight in the mid to late evening, depending. Yes, it's because the tripod won't. If I sit it on my table, my work table, the tripod doesn't lower itself down enough to look straight into the camera. I have to go like this, but you know. Um, wow, 43 people, and it's only my wife who's talking. That's great. Um, Kind of makes me wonder what the other 41 people are doing. Um, Besides just sitting back and watching the video. But today I wanted to get up early to go to church, and I woke up. I think it was like 5 or 6 o'clock this morning, and my back was like killing me, and I was like, I don't think I'm gonna do much. And then when my nine about 9 o'clock when my alarm went off to get up, I was still hurting, and I took my Tylenol with my morning meds, and um, that really didn't help that much. I mean, I can feel that the pain is still there. It feels like somebody put a clamp on one of my kidneys, because that's where it hurts. Well, I don't know if it's a kidney. It's back left is all I can say about where the kidney would be. So I don't know if that's a new problem because of the nerves being pinched by the degenerative lower lumbar discs or what. But I'm thinking tomorrow, which is supposed to be more of a consultation than a shot, that I want to talk to them about basically deadening, blazing the nerve like they did for Jerry. Because this is like the shots are no longer affecting, they're not affecting or being as effective as they were when I first started them. Now it's more like, you know, this ain't happening. I thought about the same thing, making my breakfast. I thought I might have pulled something that happened while lifting a box or something heavy, and I'm like, I don't think there's anything heavy lately that I've lifted in the last 2 weeks that was extremely heavy. Most of the stuff that's been too heavy for me to lift, I've been like kicking it around with my feet instead of trying to bend over to pick it up or squat to pick it up. Because sometimes when I squat to pick something up and go to stand up, it's like either I lose my balance and have to bend over quickly to drop it, or I can't stand up with the object in my hands. So I don't know what it could be, but I really want the doctors to maybe do some more scans and reevaluate what's going on with my, especially my lower lumbar. My neck region is not as problematic as my lower back region. Um, so I don't think it's something I lifted. I think it's something else. Either I slept the wrong way, or the discs are deteriorating even more so that I have to think of something else to do to deaden the pain. Um, the procedure to fix my lower lumbar discs is um, too invasive. And when we talked about that, they said, well, I'd have to sign some paperwork. So if something were to happen during the procedure and nicked my spine and caused paralysis or anything like that, that they would not be considered liable for it. And I'm like, no, no, because if I become paralyzed with something like that while I'm under anesthesia, yeah, that's on the doctor's hand, not mine. Um, but at this point in time, I'm not feeling like I need something that invasive. Well, if that are, make my breakfast is saying JN. I saw a Dollar Tree haul, and a lady showing they had Harry Potter figures. Um, they don't have those here. Trust me, they don't. Because if they did, JN would have me go get a couple or one of each or something like that. So, but okay. So you got you got a lower back steroid injection a week ago, Didra, and waiting on an MRI. I'll probably end up getting the MRI before the shot because um, if I'm not complaining about the pain, they don't worry about it. But the way my back has been the last couple of weeks, it's like I can't just hold off anymore. I have to get a hold of my pain doctors and get a re-eval. But the last time I went in for the steroid shot, or the steroid or cortisone, I can't remember what it was. Maybe cortisone is a steroid. But it only lasted like a week, and then I was in pain. Like, okay, did I not wait long enough after the first day, or what? Because when I've got the energy, I forget about the reason why I have the energy. Like, yeah, you got the energy because you just got a shot in your back, and shouldn't go, full bore trying to do stuff until the next day or a day or two afterwards. So that's where I'm at. And there's a lot of things that have been going on with my medical lately that is just like, you know, I'm I understand that they want to wait a couple months to see you again after your shot or whatever, but the way my body has been deteriorating, I guess I'll say, over the last year or more. There are times where it's like, yeah, I can wait, and there are other times like, no, no. Change it, bump that day that you wanted to see me a little bit closer to, you know, tomorrow or whatever. So, yeah, that's kind of where I've been stuck. I don't want to say stuck. That's the wrong word. I guess that's just where I'm at right now. Um, I know today is Sunday, and a lot of times on Sundays I'll try to incorporate the Bible into my lives. It's just my brain today is not really focusing on a lot of stuff. Um, um, it's healing. My mouth is healing, Deidre. I'm hoping here within the next week or so, I can get into the dentist's office, not the surgical, but my primary dentist, and they can tell me if I need more time to heal up my mouth wise, or if it's we're at a good point where they can um, do all the measurements they need to do to create some dentures for me. Um, Doctor says that I do have a overbite, which I think I've had most of my life. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that I'm trying to work on to. I don't know if I should say, be more presentable or get better or have a norm. What? No, there is no such thing as a normal life. But you know what I mean. I mean, trying to get to a point where my life is a whole lot better. Um, so, sorry, I keep on looking around the walls because it's like my brain is like, well, if we do move this there and move that there, we can do this and we can do that. Da da da. Da. So I'm sorry. That's where my brain has been the last 48 hours is trying to plan out how to do this room because of various ideas or hopes or wishes or whatever you want to call it to work out because of what I want or desire compared to size of rooms compared to um, ideas or plans that Jerry and I come up with or think about. Um, so it's one of those things where everything's not that I want to say everything's up in the air, but it's like, and I'm not complaining towards anybody, you know, or anything. It's just well, I'm not going to talk about it because that's a family thing. It's between um, Jerry, myself, and Mom. But you know, it's just ideas that could work um, if we were to sit down and work together. Um, but it is what it is right now, and we're trying to work with it and live with it and deal with it and enjoy, enjoy our lives. Um, but my biggest problem, and I think this has been a problem I've had all my life, is um, I don't like to wait. Um, if I see ways that can be handled or done without too many issues, um, my biggest problem besides the waiting is getting the other people or people that I need to work with or work, however you want to put it, um, can't quite see what I see. It's hard for me to sit down and explain it, um, which is kind of weird in my brain because, like, Mom knows me. She knows how my brain works. Nothing's really changed since I've gotten married. Um, but then there's Jerry, whom is starting to understand or is understanding how my brain works. But then she's got her own ideas and she's trying to get me to see her side of it as much as I'm trying to get her to see my side of it. So it's one of those, okay, where can we come together and get into an agreement? Um, but like I said, my brain works differently than most people, so it's trying to get my brain to understand what other people see that either A, I don't see, or B, how do I explain it to the people around me to see it certain ways. And that's what I have to work with, and give I have to give myself, let alone everybody else, um, the grace that we need um, in our daily lives, which is harder for me because I'm hardest on myself. So it's somewhat hard for me to give myself um, grace. So it's more me being hard on myself because of the fact I want things done, and it doesn't have to be done in my way, but I want certain things done where all parties involved can be understanding and helpful and happy. Um, but right now, because I'm more into, um, how do I put it? I guess the only words I can use is survival mode, and I guess what I mean by that is just trying to give myself grace and live every day um, happily and in a good, you know, as this saying that my psychiatrist gave me is, today is a good day and I choose to be happy. That's a great thing, a great saying, and a great way to look at things. But there are some times that just I look at certain things and I just you know become unhappy. I get down on myself, and it's hard enough as is being the person I am to not look at it as a problem, but more of a like, hey, this is a challenge. What's my challenge? The challenge is to get certain things done without being frustrated or overwhelmed or anything like that, and keep moving along. We've got, in my mind, we've got the front room or living room, however you want to put it, about 90 to 95% done. I've got my office about I'm gonna say 80 to 85% done. Um, and I'm not including decor. I'm just including cleaning it up and making it look good and put everything in their places. Now that we've got the two bookcases that we wanted in the front room, we've got all our books and whatnot out and on the shelves and things like that. Excuse me, my forehead is a little itchy, which is going to cause flaking because it's dry. Um, so, Deidre, you're going on leaving tomorrow on a 3-month road trip in your mobile home. Well, that's great. Congratulations. I'm glad you guys can do that. I mean, it would be nice to be able to do that, but because of where our lives are right now, um, you know, we're, like I said, I'm in survival mode. We've got plenty of food. We still have the house. We still have our bills pretty much paid. The necessity bills. The utilities, the mortgage, um, our internet. So yeah, but I would love to be able to spend 3 months traveling around the country in a mobile home. But anywho, um, oh, I forgot what I was gonna say. Um, Bugger. Bugger, bugger, bugger. Oh, I didn't really want to bring this up on a Sunday, but it's becoming more and more to my attention that I have not been keeping up with my daily vlogs or bi-weekly, tri-weekly vlogs, and mostly because one, I have not been able to do some of the things that I want to do for daily vlogs due to well, first off, it was due to my being out of Ritalin and my brain not being all there, even though today it's not all here because I'm just like, today just seems to be one of those days where the air in the house feels heavy. And the only thing I can explain that with for most people to understand is um, between Jerry and myself not feeling all that great. For me, it's mostly my stomach, and it's also that time of year where I struggle um, with my emotions and due to past events, which I'm slowly getting over. I mean, yeah, it's like it's been over 30 years since my father passed away. Why do I still get hooked on that or upset by it? Um, um, I mean, this time of year, that and the heat. I mean, we got slammed with a heat wave. We're under a heat advisory. I mean, it's supposed to be like 92 or something like that today, but because of humidity, even though it's low, it's like 55%. It feels like 2 to 3 degrees higher out there. And I was looking around at all the different like locations that I have on my weather app, and I was looking, at Europe because I always look towards Europe for a lot of different things. Like Oslo, Norway is higher than normal. It's in its 80s. And Munich, Germany is like 75 or something like that. I'm like, I wish I had the money to be a snowbird to go north during the wintertime so I don't have to deal with the heat. Because it's the heat that bugs me the most. I've had this in the past. It's just simple heat frustration. And what happens is if I get too hot, um, I get nauseous. I feel like I'm gonna vomit or just my stomach just goes bonkers. Um, so, Deidre, you're saying your father passed away 48 years ago today. Oh, wow. 77. Yeah, when you're attached to certain family members, like I was with my father, I was not my son's, I was my father's son, and in certain ways, I emulate my father. Um, as I get older, I know I emulate my father. My mom every so often says I'm starting to look like my dad, but I know my dad would never grow a long beard like I do or long hair like I do. But it's the facial expressions, the eyes, um, sometimes my attitude. Um, so it's sometimes it amazes me. Sometimes it's like The only things I can tell you that I did not get from my father because I'm not as big around as he is, um, and he was basically medium bone. I think I'm medium bone. I don't know. Um, Jerry, are you asking if I can let the dog in here? Um, because I will if you need me to. But I'm also starting to get my dad's attitude towards government. Give me a second, folks. Oreo, you brassy. Um, but my Oreo, quit laying it all over mom. Don't hurt mama. She likes laying across, or yeah, across mom's Jerry's midsection, which hurts her ribs. Hey, don't go back in there to be all over mama. You can stay in here, goofball. You're a goofball, I swear. Um, but like my father's one thing he used to say a lot was you can take every politician basically, all the people up on the hill, all the congressmen, the president, the vice president, all those people, drop them on a deserted island, and see who can make it back to land the fastest or the best, or how they can survive without governing our country, our nation. That was his big thing. So I'm kind of the same way right now because I mean, and this is what's probably going to happen on a lot of my vlogs, is I'm going to start talking about how I feel about what's going on in our nation. And, well, I'll talk about that here in a little bit. But yeah, I mean, my father had not trust issues with politicians. It was more like, yeah, you think you know what you're doing, and you think you know what's best for the people on Capitol Hill, but you're not down here in the ditches and the trenches and the grease pits and whatnot, doing hard labor to keep America going. You're just sitting there passing laws and whatnot without speaking to the people or asking what the people need. Which is probably one of the things I'm going to start talking about, because I've been seeing a lot of stuff on a variety of different news channels and whatnot. What are you doing, Oreo? I'm just sniffing around. Because it's become a disheartening situation with our country collapsing and falling apart the way it is. I mean, now globally, there's a lot of things going on globally, that is kind of concerning because, I mean, here in America, we're having people, I mean, massive amounts of people leaving their small towns for big city jobs and whatnot, and it's causing towns to become ghost towns with only the elderly or those who can't afford to move, to the big city or, whatever. And I was reading this about in Japan. They are literally giving away homes that have become derelict or basically not lived in because either the families move closer to the big cities because of jobs or things like that, and leaving like the elderly folks to try to run, keep these towns running. And I'm like, wow. I mean, yeah, I like the culture of Japan, from what I've read and watched and whatnot. And they've got a lot of history, and they've learned how to mix old with new. But these towns and these homes that are becoming vacant because nobody wants to live there no more. And they talk about that here in the States and other countries worldwide. And I'm like, it's really, really weird that it's happening. And my biggest fear for every country that's having these issues is who's going to stay out in the countryside to work the farms, and the ranches, ranches and whatnot. Who's going to stay out in the countryside to raise cattle or sheep or goats, or for the Asiatic country? Who's out there, helping the elderly folks that are staying out in the country to grow rice and produce of one form or another? And because of my love for history, I'm looking at this and I'm reading about it here in the States happening as well, and I'm like, we're gonna have dust bowls pretty soon because nobody's out there cultivating the land for produce or farming or anything like that. And I'm like, this is starting to look like the 1930s, 1920s during the recession and the dust bowls, because nobody was out there trying to farm the lands anymore because everybody's rushing to the big cities for jobs, for income. But then with modern day technology and equipment, how many people do we need to operate farms? I mean, we've got equipment that can harvest wheat, equipment that harvests, corn, stuff like that. And we've got machines that wrap around the tree and shake it so all the fruit and whatnot fall off. It, but still, it's just the economics of it all. You know, how much money do you have to spend to keep the equipment, operating properly? Or how much money do you have to spend for the fuel to operate the machinery? You know, just a lot of things that I never thought I'd have to worry about. But here I am going, my God, we've got towns throughout the U.S., let alone throughout the world, that are becoming ghost towns because, like in the 30s and 20s, 30s, and 40s, I think it was, that people were moving into cities for the income. And it's like, okay, that's crazy. Well, it's just crazy. And that's probably one of the things I'm going to be talking more and more about. How the world has changed since the 70s. 70s and 80s, when I was growing up as a kid. I have not heard about that yet, bluegrass. I have not seen anything. But yeah, stuff like that is signs of the times. I mean, a lot of people back in the 20s and 30s, before World War I, even during World War I, were like, this is the end times. Because I mean, farmers couldn't, eke a living out of their normal lifestyles. That people are moving away from the country to get the jobs in the cities because there was nothing out in the country. You know, it's like we're seeing more and more issues that you can find in Revelations that just makes me go, what the heck is going on? Am I actually going to be alive during the tribulation? Am I going to be alive during the end times? A lot of people were saying that in the past, and it never happened. Here we are going, wait a minute, we've got nations were our allies becoming our enemies, enemies becoming our allies, famine, various types of diseases, so that's plagues. We got war. We've got unannounced wars. I mean, we're we're not even saying we're going to war with this country. We just go off and, according to Bluegrass, bomb Iraq. Why? You know. Yeah, I don't like Trump myself, Bluegrass. And I was wondering if I should just create Iran. Okay, Iran, not Iraq. Thank you. Um, I was thinking about creating a secondary channel just to basically rant about how I feel towards Trump and all the garbage that's going on because of him. But I think I'll just stick with one channel and do whatever I want on it. And if people don't like it, well, they don't have to be on my channel, you know. But because of Israel, yeah, a lot of things are going on because of Israel. And that's one of the things that's in Revelation that warns of the signs of the change of the tribulation is fighting around or within Israel. Um, if they dig up the mountain of the dome or something to do with the dome, the old temple that's basically buried under the new temple, um, those are signs of the time, you know. And I usually don't keep up with that stuff because it's like if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. There's nothing I can do about it. You know, the only thing I can do is pray and hope that I make it through. Um, see, see what's on the other side of the veil. Reconnect with family, that kind of stuff. Bombed nuclear plant underground. Flew out of Missouri. 30,000-pound bombs. Okay, nuclear, close enough. Oh, hey Red. The Moab. That's like the largest non-nuclear bomb they have. It's called a mother of all bombs, Moab. Um, it's a high yield explosion, and what it is, it's got a sensor. So when it's so many feet above ground, it explodes and it takes out huge areas. Um, hey, Linda. Well, me and Jerry are kind of under the weather. We're both having like stomach issues, or at least I'm having the stomach issues. I don't know if Jerry's having the same issues or what. So I don't know if we ate something that might have been not so good or what the deal is. But yeah. Well, I tell you, Bluegrass. Russia joins in. That's it. If the major powers like Russia and Russia, China, or the U.S. throws in its full weight, um, yeah, I don't know if underground is going to be safe enough because earthquakes and major major natural disasters and whatnot. Um, hey, sorry, night. So it's one of those. Hopefully, it don't cause me too many problems. My reminders for changing out the laundry, which I've kind of forgotten about. I do change. I am working on the laundry. It's just the alarms and reminders. It just I'm kind of like, not that I don't want them. It's just sometimes they're a little not so happy or not so necessary. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. If you guys can't help hear me, let me know because I might have to fiddle with the sound. But and I'm getting a little jerky. I don't know what's going on, but maybe Jerry could change. No, Jerry's on the way. I'm not gonna ask Jerry to do anything if she doesn't feel up to it. Shelf in the corner. Actually, if you're talking about the wooden thing over here, it it's kind of funny because I wanted something that looked natural to put in here, and a gentleman who, I don't know if he made it or what, was selling it on Marketplace, I do believe, and picked it up from him, did the exchange and whatnot. Um, yes, it is getting long again, which I keep it up in a ponytail just so it's not like covering the back of my neck. Because when I go outside to do any work, it's a little scratchy. Yeah. Oh, I didn't even look at Arizona's temperature, but we're like 92 with the heat index making it feel like 95. And thanks, Red. Um, I decided to get on my weather app and look around at all the different favored places. Sorry, I'm just trying to adjust this. And I'm like, oh, okay, it's 75 in Munich, Germany, and 80 something in Oslo, Norway. Ah, man, too bad I can't be a reverse snowbird and just move north to the cooler areas. I didn't even look to see what it is in like um, Washington State or like up near Wasalla, where we have a where Ethel is from. I think is Wasalla, Alaska. Red, where are you that it's 60 degrees? Um, yeah, I wouldn't want 100 degrees with the humidity. No, thank you. Um, I don't even want 90 degrees with humidity. And if it wasn't for Arizona being so dry, I would say maybe northern Arizona where it's in the mountains, like Prescott Valley where I have an aunt, or Flagstaff, Arizona, where I might be able to work Grand Canyon, as long as I didn't have to lift any heavy boxes or anything like that. Um, yeah, I wish I had a swimming pool, but you know, 69 in northern Nevada. Yeah. Well, I didn't check that. I didn't check that way because my brain was like, you don't want to check the western United States, northwestern maybe, but not the southwestern, because it's usually hot and dry, and reminds me of the T-shirts I used to see at the airport when I used the airport in Phoenix to come out here to visit family after my father passed away. Where it was always two skeletons, whether they're laying on lawn chairs or whatever. It's like, but it's a dry heat. Yeah, that's why you're a pair of skeletons. Um, well, we thought about going north to like Michigan or Minnesota. Was it Michigan or Minnesota? Well, I think it was Minnesota that we were talking about moving to because they had like a lot of Viking themed restaurants and shops and stuff like that. And I was like, that's for me. I want to go there. But you know, it never happened. Yeah, Prescott is nice. We used to go camping in the Prescott Valley area when we lived in Arizona, and we were with a group called Parents Without Partners. I think I talked about it, but I'm not sure. Well, that's the thing is like if we could afford to live up there, and I know it's like lake effect snow, like Chicago gets and Buffalo gets. Um, we were thinking that maybe we would be snowbirds by then, but again, not in God's plan for us right now. But I have an aunt and a cousin who lives in Prescott. I've got family who still lives in Phoenix. Um, so yeah. Yeah, I I would love to be able to travel, even if it's here in just here around the states in an RV or something like some kind of camper. Um, but again, right now it's not in the cards. Not in God's plan for us. Um, I did not know that there was a college in Prescott. I knew Flagstaff is northern state Arizona. Phoenix has a state college in the Scottsdale area, which is a suburb of Phoenix. It's also the rich area, which a lot of Phoenicians would call Snobsdale instead of Scottsdale, because it was all the rich folks and the golf courses and the college and all that stuff. Um, yes, we were living in Arizona, me and my mom, when it hit 125 in the shade, and our air conditioner blew. And I was like making my own little air conditioner, oscillating fan with a bucket of ice behind it, taking ice cold baths. And it took 3 days or more for the electrician to realize that the air conditioner unit has its own little switch where if it gets too hot or overloaded, it shuts itself off and that switch pops. So for like 3 days or more, we were sweltering because the air conditioner didn't know what was wrong with it until the electrician finally looked at the air conditioner and went, "Oh, there's a switch up here. It's got its own circuit breaker." um, why they put air conditioners on top of houses in Arizona when they should be ground level where it's a little bit cooler, and figure out where the shady part of the house is to put the air conditioner in the shady area. Scottsdale used to have a lot of riding trails. Yes, yes. Scottsdale, Mesa, and Sun City, I think it was. I forgot to. Oh, it was Scottsdale, Mesa, Arizona, and Tampa. About that, all kinds of weird stuff going on with my phone. Bluegrass is here to mod. I'm fading, so I'll let FB for more. Okay. Um. Yeah, Jerry's had trouble sleeping lately. Um. She told me last night she didn't fall asleep until almost 3 o'clock in the morning. So I've been between that and not her not feeling good. I've been letting her rest. Uh, well, bluegrass. I mean, we're up there in northern New York State, so yeah, there's a lot of farms and whatnot up there. Actually, I haven't spoken to my mom in a couple of days. Um, so uh, actually, bluegrass. I tried to get her to eat something small this morning. I was gonna offer up, some eggs and whatnot. She just did not feel like eating. Um, that usually happens the day after she takes her Trulicity shot. She'll have some, like, not hungry feelings. So I'm like, protein shake, anything, please. Um, so, but yeah, when I go to make dinner, I have a feeling she's not going to want to eat a big meal. But I'm going to try to get her. I'm going to try to make her a um, I'm going to try to get her to eat, or at least have a. I'm going to make her a protein shake, and have her eat some of that. Ooh, that protein shake is strawberry flavored. I've got strawberries in the refrigerator. So I can give her, put some strawberry shake, some strawberries, and some vanilla ice cream and make her a shake. Yeah, mostly it's Jerry doesn't sleep on her tummy anymore, um, because it causes issues. But she sleeps on her side. That's the only way she can sleep nowadays. So, but yeah, I've been trying to do, trying to be a caretaker, a cleaner. Uh, how many hats am I wearing lately? Cook, cleaner, rearranger, fix it up, make it look nice, organize it, that kind of stuff. But today, because of my back and my stomach, it's mostly laundry, which is important, and dishes. In fact, I got to make something for myself as a lunch or pre-dinner, whatever type deal. But I do what I can for those I care for. Um, what's the matter, Oreo? She's literally laying on my feet, trying not to lay on the tripod because it will wiggle the camera. But I've been on here almost an hour. Oh shoot! No, I did not take my Ritalin. I have to come in and get it. I'll be in there in a second because I think I'm gonna go ahead and shut down here in a moment so I can take my meds, um, and all that. Take my meds, figure out what to do for Jerry for dinner. I have leftovers that I can have, so I'm not like, worried about myself. I'm more worried about Jerry. Actually, we were laying down earlier and I fell asleep. I don't know if Jerry did, but I fell asleep for a good hour, hour and a half. But yeah, later on this evening, after I'm done with whatever I can do, I'll probably go in there and sit next to her while I play on my tablet or something like that and keep her company. But anyhow, before I jump off, I will warn you that my blogs coming up may have a lot of political worldviews, my opinions of those and my opinion of what's going on around the world. I know everybody is entitled to their opinion, but I hope and pray that people will not get into scuffles or arguments because, like I said, it's my opinion, and this is my channel. So if you don't like my opinion, please just be kind enough to move on, or keep it to yourself, or keep it to a non-hostile reply, because I really don't want negativity. I just want to view my opinions. And I've also found that it's not just my opinions. There's a lot of other people out there who have similar feelings towards a lot of things going on in our country, let alone the world. So until next time, what make your breakfast? It's not that I don't want to discuss politics. It's more like I want to discuss what I feel is going on and what's wrong with what's happening. So it's not really politics. It's more how I feel towards what's going on in this country. If it involves our president or our lawmakers or things like that, no, I'm sorry. So, but anyhow, I'll see you guys around. Have a good day. Enjoy. Bye.